Hi guys, welcome to the review of Oppo Find N2, so let's get started. This is the Oppo Find N2, the new foldable flagship from Oppo. There's a few upgrades over the past model. So what's new this time around? Let's find out in our full review. Like last year's model, the Oppo Find N2 is a compact foldable, but there's a few upgrades like a new flagship-grade chipset, fast wired charging, a high refresh rate on the outer display and upgraded cameras. The Oppo Find N2 is very comfortable to use with one hand. While folded, it feels same as a standard smartphone. Let's start with the design. The design is similar to last year's. The back panel is made of vegan leather. The smooth back surface rees to meet the camera bump. You have rounded corners and a flat frame. And you have also a Gorilla Glass Victus protection here. When you unfold the phone, you have an option to open it at any angle between 45 and 125 degrees. There's again no ingress protection here, which you do get on the Galaxy Z Fold 4. When you unfold the phone, you get a 7.1-inch LTPO AMOLED inner display with a 1792 by 1920 resolution and a 120 Hz refresh rate. It's very bright. We estimated a limit of 500 nits with a manual slider. And this can boost up to 1200 nits in auto mode when in bright sun. The high refresh rate smooths your swiping and scrolling, and thanks to the LTPO technology, it can be very adaptive. The display is very contrasty. Colors are very accurate, and there's also a HDR10+ support. When come to the outer screen, you get a 5.5-inch AMOLED display with a 1080p resolution and again a 120 Hz refresh rate. And also a bright screen. We estimated a 490 nits with the manual slider, and this can boost up to 970 nits in auto mode when in bright sun. For sound, the Oppo Find N2 has a pair of stereo speakers. The loudness is great here, and the sound quality is great too with some bass. There's a side-mounted fingerprint reader built into the power button. It's quick and reliable. The Oppo Find N2 comes with 256 or 512 GB of storage on board. The interface of the Find N2 is Oppo's most latest OS 13 on top of Android 13. Now on to the chipset. The Find N2 has a flagship-grade Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which was the latest and greatest from Qualcomm, and the performance is great during multitasking and heavy gaming. Let's talk about battery. In our proprietary test, the overall battery life is a little less but decent. The Find N2 earned an endurance rating of 83 hours in our test, and you get 67 watts fast charging. With it, we were able to charge the phone from 0 to 87% in 30 minutes. There is no wireless charging here. Now onto the cameras. The Oppo Find N2 has a 50-megapixel main camera, a 32-megapixel 2-time telephoto camera, and a 48-megapixel ultra-wide which has autofocus. The Find N2's main camera catches superb 12.5-megapixel photos. There's low noise and saturated colors and wide dynamic range. The photos are sharp and well exposed and fine detail. Portraits taken with the both main and telephoto camera, but the main camera will give you higher quality photos. So, on the other hand, the telephoto gives a more comfortable distance. The 2-time zoom shorts comes out in 8 megapixels. There's great contrast and the noise performance is better over the last year. The ultra-wide's 12-megapixel photos are great for this kind of cameras. We like the level of sharpness and detail, low noise, accurate colors, and wide dynamic range. There's no dedicated macro mode, but since the ultra-wide has autofocus this year, you can use it to shoot close-up shots. The Oppo Find N2 has multiple ways of taking selfies. You get 32-megapixel selfie camera within both the outer and the inner screens. The quality here is great, but there is some softness and the detail level is not what you'd expect from 32 megapixels. But, the phone is foldable. You have the option to shoot selfies using the back cameras with the outside screen acting as a viewfinder. Obviously the quality is a lot higher from the main camera than what you get with most any regular selfie camera. You can shoot video with the main camera and up to 4K resolution. The quality is great with a wide dynamic range and great color saturation. The ultra-wide can also shoot 4K video and the quality is very great. The recording is very sharp and the dynamic range is wide again. The telephoto camera is restricted to 1080p resolution. The DTL is good for 1080p, but the dynamic range is not wide. There's electronic stabilization for all cameras. So that is the Oppo Find N2. It continues with the first model set out to do, providing a solid foldable experience. But there are a few upgrades and even a lighter compact design, a faster chipset, quick charging and improved cameras plus higher brightness on the displays, and a quick refresh rate on the outer screen are very impressive. But the problem is that this phone is released only in China market, and any outsider would have to deal with the hassle of a gray import. That's make this phone difficult to recommend. I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching guys, and see you on the next one.